Hi, my name is Genni Selby, and I'm an artist living in Dufferin-Caledon. My relationship with art began at a very early age, from the time I think I was 5 years old. I remember clearly back in kindergarten, standing in front of an easel and painting horses. A teacher came up to me and said, "You're going to be an artist someday." And actually, I never forgot what she said. I had an excellent high school experience with art because our high school had 4 full-time art teachers at the time, back in the 70s. And art was really encouraged. And I spent a lot of time in the art department, and it was my favorite place to be growing up. After high school, I decided that I would continue studying art. At first, I went to University of Toronto. My plan was to be an art teacher, but I ended up taking half of my university courses at Sheridan College in Oakville, which is where they had the classical animation program in Oakville. And of course, we shared a drawing studio with the animation studios, and I got a chance at that point in time to see what they were doing. And from that point on, my life path was set. I started with a show called Babar, which was based on a very famous children's series of books. And we did another show called Rupert, which again was based on children's books, well known. We worked on a show called Beetlejuice for years, and that one went into syndication, which was an amazing opportunity because it meant that the industry was really expanding, and more people were, finding work at Nelvana for that project. After that, I went on to work on a lot of children's series that were targeting preschool children, ages under 5. One of the first shows being Little Bear, and of course Max and Ruby's a well-known show that I worked on, and Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. There was Jacob Tutu. That was an older target group, but Magic School Bus, which I'm sure everyone knows. So that's just to name a few of the shows that I worked on during the 90s at Nelvana in the layout department. Working in animation was excellent for me because you would spend 8 hours a day drawing and really developing your skills. What was amazing about animation was that every possible drawing problem that you could dream up, you ended up dealing with at one point or another. So it was amazing for developing my drawing skills. Drawing is the most essential component, I think, of any form of art, whether you're painting or whatever it is, because it's just the basics. You learn everything. You learn perspective drawing. You learn how to draw characters with feeling and emotion. You learn composition. You learn character, everything in animation. It was all there. It was such a good experience for me. And it did pave the way for the future as far as developing my own type of art, because I ended up choosing realism animals. And so attention to detail and the drawing skills are really important for what I want to do now. So it was amazing. But the discipline, the self-discipline was really important too, because what job could you ever dream up that you would be paid to, draw for like 8 hours a day, 7 days a week? Actually, it was 7 days a week because we always were hitting deadlines for television, which is pretty tight. Anyone who works in television would know this. So living in Caledon has always been a dream for me. I actually moved up here in 1997, and much of my career I worked at home out of this very studio. But I love Caledon, I always have. I love the local environment. I love just the farming community, the rural roots, the history here. It's a beautiful, natural environment, and it's where I've felt the most at home in my entire life. I choose animals because maybe part of me wanted to, I don't know, give a voice to this community through my art. That was important to me, was to show the world what it's like to live here. So that, yeah. And of course, the animals are a big part of it, and being an incredible animal lover my entire life, especially horses. I didn't say this before, but my mother used to say I had a one-track mind. So, yeah. Living here has inspired that, and it's just such a beautiful place. You really don't have to go very far to find something beautiful to paint. You know, it should always be fun, but it's, is it fun? Yeah, it is. But it's more than that. It's just, I would say that when I paint, I go into the Zen mode. So you could call that fun, I guess. It's fun to think of ideas. It's fun to see things come to life. It's fun to share with other people what you're doing, and be a part of organizing a show, and, you know, helping other people get their artwork out there too. That's fun to do too. I enjoy that, and I enjoy talking to people and seeing how, you know, they're enjoying the shows that we do in the group that we're part of. I do. For me, the actual act of painting, it's kind of like a meditation. It's more of a Zen thing, I could say. It brings me great comfort and peace. If you were asking me about a child or a young person, I would totally recommend animation as a career choice. I think that's really important to say, because our young people are our future, okay? They could go to any of the amazing art colleges, like Sheridan College. I mean, they're still teaching classical animation, although it's very digitally oriented now. Seneca, Centennial, others, you know, colleges. There are colleges that will give you the kind of fast track your education, OCAD. But if you're talking about somebody older, I would encourage them to join an art group maybe, and take advantage of the opportunities that you can get through being part of a larger group of people, because working with other people really does help. I learned that from the animation experience, that being around other people and working with other people is really a good thing to do. So you could join an art group. You could take workshops that often are offered through art groups, such as the Orangeville Art Group does. I would recommend doing that. But mostly, I would recommend just do it. You know, find your truth. Find your, whatever it is you want to do, paint or draw, do it. Focus on your drawing. That is really good advice. Learn as much as you can about that. Ultimately, though, it does require doing it. That is the way forward. Well, I do belong to the Orangeville Art Group, as I said, and I do have some of my artwork posted on Artful Caledon. I have an email address. I don't have a website yet, because it hasn't really been that important to me to get myself out there. As far as the work I do now, I'm on LinkedIn for animation. But apart from that, you could just go to the Orangeville Art Group website and find me there. We have an artists page.